I've recently got into making things out of cement, and so today I'm going to take you on a journey of how I make my miniature decorative cement tray. Now before we can make our cement tray, or anything else out of cement for that matter, we first have to build it out of wood. Wait, what? Here is the wooden tray that I built, and this is exactly how I want my cement tray to look. And I really mean that, because every single little imperfection of this will be transferred onto our cement tray. And so I took my sweet time getting it to be as perfect as I could. Now over here I have some silicone that I bought for mold making. And so I took our wooden tray and placed it in a small foam board frame, then poured the silicone on top, creating a mold for it. Look how floppy that thing is. And with this, we're basically good to go. Okay, so now onto the cement. For cement, I'm using Cement All. It has a 4:1 mixing ratio, which means if you have 500 grams of cement, you need to mix in 125 grams of water for it to work properly. Pretty straightforward so far, right? Well, here's where it gets just a tiny little bit more complicated. What if I don't want my tray to be cement colored? What if I want it to be green? Well, then I would need to mix some dye pigment into the cement to change the color. But if I add too much pigment, then it will weaken and maybe even break our piece. To avoid this, no more than 5% of our cement mixture can be made up of pigment. So what's 5% of 500? 25 grams of pigment. That means the correct mixture for the example above would be 475 grams of cement, 25 grams of dye, and 125 grams of water. And then we just have to mix it all together. You can see here in the video just how dusty it can be, so try not to breathe any of it in. We just want to stir until all the lumps are gone and it has a good consistency. And after that, it's just a matter of pouring our mixture into the mold. Now, air bubbles have a tendency of getting stuck beneath the surface, which kind of ruins the whole look. So we are going to need to shake the mold to try and work out the bubbles and smooth everything out. That's why I have it on a cutting board. You really can't shake too much, however I typically aim for around 2 minutes. We're going to need to leave this for about an hour so everything can set, but in the meantime we should really go clean our bowl before that residue starts to harden. To clean this, you see I'm using paper towels, which I then throw away. Please don't wash any of this down the drain. I do not think that would end well.
1 hour later.
An hour is almost the perfect amount of time. However, a general rule of thumb to be safe is to touch the cement. If it's cold, it's good to go, but if it's warm or even hot, it needs a little bit more time. To free our piece from the mold, we're going to need to gently peel back the silicone from the sides of our tray. But do keep in mind, the tray is only an hour old, and it takes a few days for the cement to 100% dry, so be super gentle with it. It's just a baby. Peeling back the inside of the mold is by far the hardest part, but just give it an even, constant pressure at a very slow pace. As you can see, the top of the mold almost always leaves a few rough spots and bumps on it. Things get splashed up there a little bit from the shaking, but that's okay. I'm just going to take it and lightly sand it on the belt sander. Now here I have a 1/4 inch diameter square aluminum rod. And so all I'm going to do is cut out 2 3-inch long pieces. Just like these. I'm then going to take some Loctite super glue and super glue those metal pieces into the side cutouts of the tray to act as handles. And with that, we're finished. This is the kind of stuff I was talking about earlier. Look how the smallest details like the wood grain transferred onto this. Isn't that amazing? I originally designed and built this for myself because I wanted a little catch-all tray that was a little bit more classy than the bowl I had been using. I think this does the trick. I'm actually quite happy with it. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments down below. But hey, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy this video, and if you did, please feel free to hit the thumbs up and subscribe. But if you didn't, I hope you can't get all the air bubbles out of your cement.
Thanks for watching, and please feel free to subscribe.